Hi, welcome back. It's Dean here again at DMB Collection, and in today's video we're going to talk to you about the McLaren 720S and why I think that this car is without a doubt probably the best value supercar you can buy for 2020.
What is wrong with me? Do I care too carefully? What is wrong with me? Does somebody know?
So once you're inside this car, it seems to mould exactly to your body and your shape inside the vehicle. It's absolutely awesome. It's very, very futuristic with this screen that's in front of you there, very much like new cars now with the virtual cockpit displays. As soon as you engage track mode as well, of course, you can press the button and the actual screen flips like it's doing right now, and obviously goes in and just only displays the full revs, which is obviously what you need, especially if you're on a track, to see when to change gear and when to get the optimum performance out of your car. But this spec on this car just goes on and on and on, from the decent Bauer & Wilkinson sound system, all the touchscreen, all the sort of matte carbon fibre inside. It really feels like a very special supercar indeed, and makes you feel special. I think when you drive in the vehicle, which we're going to do in just a second, the car really does do all the talking. So looking at the outside of this McLaren, obviously it's very evident, you can see that the spec on this car is massive. In terms of carbon, I think the previous owners obviously ticked just about every single option, because it's got carbon literally everywhere on this car, from the very front splitter, the rear diffuser, even down to things like this on the interior of the car as well. You can see in a nice satin carbon fibre finish. So no wonder this car cost so much when it was absolutely brand new. But of course that now makes for this car to be very, very good value indeed for its new owner.
What is wrong with me? Should I try?
So here we are inside the McLaren 720S, and let me start by saying first of all that this is actually a very, very nice place to sit indeed. The car obviously is very, very comfortable. We've got a great seating position in this car. I think ergonomically the designers at McLaren have done this very, very well. So your hands sort of sit pretty much at around 2:45, quite nicely, with your thumbs tucked in there, and obviously leaves your fingers there space free, ready to press the paddles obviously as and when you need them. So obviously the cabin inside the car is nice and light and airy. This particular car has got the Gorilla Glass roof, so it makes the inside of the cabin a lot lighter as well. We're on some lovely country lanes at the moment in the heart of Yorkshire, where of course the McLaren 720S really comes into its own.
Say what is wrong with me? Say what is wrong with me? Oh, yeah.
So inside this car, the overall cabin, the carbon fibre, the upgraded sound system, Bowers & Wilkins, the spec on this car is absolutely phenomenal. The list price of this car was well over £280,000, making this car today, with only 3,000 miles on the clock, insane value for money. And again, this is just my opinion, but I do honestly believe that this McLaren 720S, not just this, but McLarens in general, of the 720 brand, are probably the best cars and supercar of 2020.
What is wrong with me? Do I care?
So the McLaren superseded the 650, the earlier car. 720 brake horsepower this car has. So obviously the model derivatives dictate what the brake horsepower is on cars, like the 570 for example, 540, all refers to the car's PS. Obviously the brake horsepower on this car, for a car that really doesn't weigh an awful lot, you're essentially sat inside a carbon tub. The car's performance is nothing other than blistering. Performance on these are incredible. You're talking sub 3 seconds. It's only around about 2.8 0 to 60 on a 720S, but it doesn't just stop at 0 to 60 of course. These cars continue. 4 litre bi-turbo engine just absolutely propels this car to an incredible speed and extremely quickly indeed.
What is wrong with me?
So what do people expect when they buy a sports car? They want things like looks. This certainly looks incredible. when they look about sound, that's one thing that people do say about McLarens is it lacks a little bit in the sound department because it's not a naturally aspirated V8, V10, V12, whatever it might be. But I actually think these do sound quite good themselves. I mean, we were very fortunate enough to take a McLaren 720 out over to Monaco, and we drove on some of the best, and I mean some of the best driving roads you can have in Europe. The Col de Turini being one, where there's lots of tunnels and passes. Everybody stopped because they wanted to hear the sound of the engines, and obviously I was out with the boys like TG and G and everyone, and they were in obviously nice cars that had exhaust, etc. And when it was sort of my go to go through the tunnel itself, it didn't do bad. I don't think it sounded bad at all. I mean, even now we can tap down on the gear, it still has a nice little throaty sound, quite poppy. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. But obviously what it might lack for its sound, it certainly makes up for in terms of everything else. Handling, performance, looks, it does tick all the boxes. And I for one absolutely love this car.
Say what is wrong with me? Say what is wrong with me?
So what are people's reservations when it comes to buying a McLaren? Well, obviously there's been quite a lot of controversy out there on social media, etc. about the cars. There's been incidents where obviously McLaren's cars have been caught on fire, like some of the Sennas, etc. Reliability and things like that have also been a raise for concern. However, obviously the cars do come with warranties, and this particular car has got another good year, 18 months warranty left on the car. It's done 3,000 miles. I'm dealing with customers who own these McLarens, and you know, I've spoken to a lot of customers who've had not an ounce of bother with them. Build quality, it's not the same as German. However, these are designed to be extremely light. The carbon fibre panels, you know, I think they've done a very good job with this car. I think it looks great. From a residual value aspect today, with these cars obviously only being around about 150, 160,000 pounds, I think that they will nicely slow down, I think now. So I think owning one of these cars is certainly not going to depreciate in value like it has done over the last 12, 18 months. It can't do because this car will be free, effectively. You know, I think with the other cars in the brands like the 570s dipping under £100,000 now, I think these will quite comfortably sit over £100,000. I would like to think for a good 5-10 years. Who knows? It's a finger in the air job with these, but I do know one thing's for sure: you can never lose value like they have from what this costs brand new. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video, guys. It gives you a little bit of an insight into what McLaren 720s are all about and why they are such good value for money today. Hopefully, please do subscribe to this channel. There's lots more to come as well. We're bringing in lots of amazing stock and content at DMB Collection, so we really do look forward to seeing you all back again soon and seeing what other exciting sports cars and supercars we've got in store. See you again soon.